Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to Breckland Council this Monday, the 8th of January, to our Cabinet meeting. We'll rattle through today's agenda. We'll start with item 1 then. Minutes of the previous meeting held on the 21st of December, contained within pages 3 to 5 of colleagues' agenda pack. Is everyone happy that that's a true and accurate record? Thank you very much. Item 2, apologies for absence, please, Teresa.
Thank you, Chairman. We've had apologies from Councillor Claire Bowles and the Chief Executive.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Any urgent business? I haven't got any. No. Item 4, declarations of interest. If any member has any declaration not already declared, please let us know at the start of those relevant items. Item 5, non-members wishing to address the meeting, you are almost welcome as always. Chairman's announcements, I don't have any. And we'll go to item 7, which is Breckland Council community funding, please. Councillor Ashby.
Thank you, Leader. I can confirm there are no outstanding applications at present.
Lovely, thank you very much. So we'll move on to item 8, which is the draft budget, medium term and capital strategy for 23-24. And Councillor Cowan to present, please.
Thank you, Chairman, and Happy New Year, everyone that's tuning into our meeting. Colleagues, during the time that I've been privileged to hold the Finance, Revenue and Benefits portfolio, I can state unequivocally that this Council has never faced the range of external pressures over which we have little or no control and that have the potential to derail carefully managed and prudent fiscal planning. It is to the credit of Team Breckland, from the corporate management team down, including directors, assistant directors, team leaders and all staff and members, that I'm able to come before you today with this draft budget, medium-term financial plan and capital strategy that not only provides for a balanced budget in the short and medium term, but also protects the core services and, importantly, the many discretionary services that this Council provides to its residents and businesses. Section 1 sets out the background against which the proposals before us should be viewed, identifies the funding streams in 1.4, discusses the retained business rates, or NNDR, in 1.5, considers the implications of the new homes bonus, 1.6, comments on the council tax limits imposed by Whitehall, 1.7, reiterates the efficiencies and savings programme set in train in 2023, 1.8, and proposes the capital programme and associated funding, 1.11, with a view to examining and debating the proposed option under 2 that states that the draft capital and revenue budget estimates, the draft medium-term financial plan and the draft capital strategy are reviewed in preparation for the final budget setting in February 2024. The appendices to this report are clearly identified in the papers before us today, ranging from A to H. Appendix A provides the detail behind the rationale that has informed the proposals before us, setting out the precept requirement, potential and actual income streams, cost centres, reserves, balances and risks. Appendix B sets out the summary by subjective heading and identifies the precept requirements and the total tax base, whilst Appendix C breaks down the tax base by parish. Appendix D identifies the proposed fees and charges, whilst Appendix D2 shows the fees for planning applications that were increased by Whitehall in December 2023. Appendix E sets out a summary of our reserves, and Appendix F looks at the sensitivity analysis of key variables. In Appendix G, we've outlined the proposed capital strategy and supported this with Appendix H that identifies the proposed capital programme and the capital receipts that are projected for the period 2024-25 through to 2033-34. There is much detail within these proposals, but the overarching position is one that shows that this Council is in a sound fiscal position for the short and medium term, that we have a clear understanding of our obligations to residents and businesses, and that we appreciate, monitor and manage risks that may have an effect on our forward planning and policy formulation. This is a draft budget, medium-term financial plan and capital strategy that is positive, provides a framework that will allow this Council to fulfil its obligations and maintains a level of service that provides best value for money for the Council taxpayers of Breckland, and I commend it to you. If there are any questions, I shall do my best to respond, and I'm supported in this by Alison Chubbuck, our Section 151 officer. Thank you, Chairman.
Lovely. Thanks, Phil. Alison, anything to add? No, good. Any questions or comments from colleagues, please? I've got Councillor Hewitt and then Councillor Khyber, please.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Phil. I have absolutely no doubt that in presenting this item to us, you talk openly and candidly about challenging times, both inside and outside this council, and almost at a national level. And some of us who are a bit long in the tooth will say that I can think back to 2007, 2009. In fact, I can go even back to the late 1980s and 1990s, where we saw quite profound external challenges that are facing businesses, are facing residents, are facing councils, and are actually facing governments. For me, this budget is all about making difficult decisions, not necessarily ones that will gain universal appeal. They might be uncomfortable, they might be unpleasant, but we need to make these difficult decisions, confident that Team Breckland will continue to deliver our vital frontline services, allowing our businesses and our residents to thrive. I'm also delighted that we are absolutely clear that our capital strategy supports our capital and revenue ambitions for this council moving forwards. It's a tough budget, but I think it's a sound budget. Can I commend you and your team for putting such a budget together in these times? Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Chairman. The provisional settlement was announced on the 18th of December. Did that result in any significant changes to our future budget position?
No.
Good. Thanks for that. Supplementary question then, Robert.
Our assumptions, I presume, therefore, were very valid assumptions.
The one-word answer is yes. However, let me just put a bit more meat on that answer. The team have a lot of experience of working with settlements that come out at the last minute. And in this case, there have been one or two changes, but nothing of a major nature which is going to derail the proposals that we were putting forward in readiness for that settlement coming out. No, so they are a good team and do a good job and have a better crystal ball than most.
Great, thanks. Any other questions or comments in relation to the draft budget? No? Do you want to move those recommendations?
Yes, so we have a recommendation today, and that is that the draft capital and revenue budget estimates, the draft medium-term financial plan and the draft capital strategy are reviewed in preparation for the final budget setting in February 2024. Move that recommendation, Chairman.
Great. All those in favour? Thank you. That's unanimous and carried. Of course, for colleagues of the Council, this will go into overview scrutiny on the 1st of February for further debate through this phase of the budget setting process. So move on to the next item, which is item 9 then, which is the Anglia Revenues and Benefits Partnership. Councillor Cameron, please.
The report is for noting, Chairman, but it's an opportune time to advise members of a change at the leadership of Anglia Revenues Partnership. And that is that Lorraine King has been offered and accepted the role of heading up ARP. And of course, those of us who are a bit longer in the tooth than others will recall that Lorraine actually started life working here in Breckland. And she's now moved forward very ably, and we're looking forward to working with her. Thank you.
Great, thank you there for noting, but do any colleagues have any questions or comments on those? No, they're duly noted then. So item 10 then, date of next meeting. Breckland Cabinet will be on Monday the 12th of February at 9:30 here in the Anglia Room at Breckland Council, and I formally close the meeting. Thank you very much.